A word of warning, once you see these clips, you can't unsee them. What follows isn't just entertainment, it's unsettling evidence of things that move in the dark, things that most people pretend don't exist. Tonight, you'll witness cryptids and paranormal encounters that may leave you questioning reality itself. My name is Steve, this is Classified Captures. Now, before we dive too deeply into all the clips on this particular episode, let's look at this first one and delve in deep. According to the homeowner, this footage comes from the security cameras late at night. Everything looks quiet at first, and then a car drives past. Nothing unusual there. But then on the footage, you can see them. Two dark humanoid shadow-like figures are running after the car. They're not shaped like solid people, they're more like silhouettes, blurry and slightly translucent. What makes it more eerie is that the homeowner had another camera angled differently, one pointing toward the side of the house. When the car and the figures move out of frame on the first camera, they appear on the second camera too. This is what has everyone puzzled. Editing a video like this to match two camera angles would be extremely difficult and time-consuming. And even if someone did it as a prank, the way the figures move don't quite match how a normal person would run. It's left people divided. Some believe it's a hoax, others are convinced it's shadow people, ghosts, or some other unexplained phenomenon caught on camera. This one is definitely unsettling. According to the mother, she was just trying to take a sample photo of her little girl after she lost a tooth. But when the picture came out, in the background there was something no one expected. A dark figure standing there. The mother insists it wasn't her and that she and her daughter were the only ones in the room. The figure appears to have the outline of a woman with long hair, but you can't see the full body clearly. That's part of what makes it so unnerving. Many people believe photos like this capture spirits or energy lingering around, especially when the figure has a distinctly human shape but doesn't match anyone actually present. Whether it's a trick of the camera or something genuinely unexplained, it's the kind of image that gives you chills, precisely because it looks like someone shouldn't be there, but they are. A man shared this eerie footage of something looking back at him in the middle of the night. He was outside when he noticed movement in the tree. So he pointed his camera up, and that's when it was caught. Clear as day, you can see a pair of glowing red eyes staring right back at him from the darkness. The shape of the figure itself is hard to make out, but the eyes alone are enough to send chills down your spine. Some people who saw the footage say it looks like a Sasquatch hiding in the tree. Others think it could just be an animal, maybe an owl or some other nocturnal creature whose eyes reflect light in that same way. But then again, the size and position of those eyes don't really match what you'd expect from a bird. There's also a more unsettling idea floating around, that what we're looking at isn't an animal at all, but something supernatural. Some even call it a demon, saying the intense red glow of the eyes is not natural at all. Whatever it is, the man didn't stick around long after capturing this. He quickly left the area, and, well, honestly, who would after seeing eyes like that staring out in the shadows? This video is from India, and it shows a man in a uniform using a metal tool to try and open a sewer cover on the side of the street. As he works on it, you can clearly see a very thick, almost brownish smoke or vapor billowing out from the ground. The man himself has a scarf wrapped tightly over his nose and mouth to protect himself from whatever is leaking out, which only makes the scene even more unsettling. No official explanation has been given for what exactly the smoke is, and no information has been released about whether it's dangerous. Some people online are speculating that it could be a chemical leak, a gas line problem, or even some sort of industrial waste venting through the sewer system. Others think it might be a fumigation process or routine maintenance gone wrong. Without confirmation, it's impossible to say for sure, but given how dense the smoke looks and the fact the man is wearing makeshift protection, it's definitely something that would raise concern for anyone in the area. So what's going on there in India? Do you believe dinosaurs still exist? It sounds like such an easy question to answer, but these days, people actually have to stop and think about it, especially when things like this keep popping up online. This person was camping out when they shared this TikTok. They were inside the tent, zipped up, when these strange noises started outside. When you listen closely, the sounds really do resemble the kind of low guttural calls or roars you'd hear from dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. It's nothing like the usual wildlife noises people are used to. The man filming sounds genuinely unsettled, whispering and clearly nervous as the noises keep happening around him. It's no surprise the clip blew up online, with some people convinced this is proof dinosaurs are still out there, hiding in remote areas, while others insist it's either a large animal like an elk, a bear, or even a gator. There's also the possibility of audio manipulation or a prank. After all, the dinosaur sounds from the movies are publicly available online, and it wouldn't be hard to play them through a speaker. So do dinosaurs still exist? Science tells us they're direct descendants of birds, so they definitely do. But the giant reptiles themselves, well, they've been extinct for millions of years, don't you think?
I thought I was hearing like a plane or something, but then the rumblings got really... I don't know what the hell that is. I can tell you, I am not going to go out and look.
There's no denying that these days, with cameras everywhere, we're catching things on video that people might have completely missed years ago. This clip is a perfect example of that. It shows a woman walking through what looks like an apartment complex, heading up a staircase to her room late at night. Everything seems normal at first, until you look closely at the dark space underneath the stairs. Right there, under the staircase, something small moves. At first glance, you might think it's a shadow or maybe even a cat, but when you observe, you can clearly make out a tiny humanoid shape. It's crouched low as if trying to hide from her, and the moment the woman appears, it shifts and moves like it's aware it's been spotted. The movement is so deliberate, it doesn't resemble a trick of the light at all. People online have been speculating about what it could be. The most popular theory is that it's a duende, and honestly, the shape and behavior fit that description better than anything else. Skeptics argue it could simply be a child, a raccoon, or even a puppet, or an edited clip, but the figure moves with an eerie realism and it doesn't look like any animal. Do you think the woman actually caught a real duende on camera, or was it something more ordinary? By now, you've probably heard about the famous live streamer Kai Ceneda. This footage was taken at an awards show where Kai was on the red carpet speaking with a woman named Fatima. Everything seemed normal until Kai had to step away to take a phone call. The camera, still rolling, kept Fatima in the frame as she laughed and interacted with someone just behind Kai. Then, in just the blink of an eye, something very strange happens. Fatima's face appears to shift around her mouth and nose area. For a brief moment, the proportions of her face seem off, almost melting and morphing before snapping back into normal. People online have slowed down and zoomed in on the clip, pointing out that it looks too seamless to be a simple blur. While skeptics say it's just a camera glitch from a compression artifact or bad frame clip, believers argue otherwise. This isn't the first time a clip like this has circulated. For years, small moments of facial glitches during live events have been claimed to be evidence of shapeshifters or non-humans living amongst us. Whether that's true or whether it's just another internet story, well, that's to be decided, but the clip with Kai and Fatima is undeniably eerie to watch. Do you think it's just a weird lighting or camera effect, or did the camera actually catch a shapeshifter? I'm not sure if you've heard this one, but at a recent Massive Attack concert, fans were shocked when giant screens appeared to identify people in the crowd, projecting their names, occupations, and labels above their faces in real time. Naturally, social media and the paranormal community quickly erupted with claims that the band had secretly deployed facial recognition technology, scanned and tracking thousands of attendees without consent. Massive Attack later denied this, saying the show only used face detection, spotting faces rather than identifying them, combined with randomly generated fictional data as the commentary on modern surveillance. According to them, no personal information was stored or matched to real identities, and it was all just an artistic stunt. But some aren't convinced, and conspiracy theories have already started circulating. Some believe the band may have been quietly working with tech firms to beta test real-time surveillance system under the guise of art, while others suggest governments could be using events like this to normalize facial recognition in public life. There are some who even claim that the so-called fake data may have been seeded with real information to gauge crowd reactions. You've seen the clip with your own eyes, so what do you think? This footage was taken by a witness at the Sierra Madre, and it shows a 16-foot-tall being standing high up in the mountains. The video was filmed on September the 28th and has already started making waves online. You can clearly see a tall, dark figure standing on the ridge. Its proportions seem massive compared to the surrounding rocks and trees, which is why so many people are calling it proof of a giant living amongst us. We've spoken before about the idea of giant creatures possibly still existing in remote parts of the world, especially in places like dense forests or hard-to-reach mountain ranges where few people go. While mainstream science doesn't accept this theory, there's a growing community of people who are convinced that these giants could be real, either as undiscovered species or something mysterious. Looking at this footage, it's easy to see why it's sparking debate. Some viewers argue that the being might just be an optical illusion, but others are adamant that its shape and movement are too distinct to be anything but a living creature. So what are your thoughts? I saw this image online, and you won't believe the story behind it. It claimed that a boy named Daniel Reyes, who went missing 10 years ago at about age 7, was recently spotted alive, walking side by side with a pack of wolves near his old childhood home. According to the story, AI facial aging software confirmed his identity, and scientists suggest he's fully adapted to life in the wild, even losing his ability to speak English. Wild, right? But what do you think? Could this be real, or is it just another made-up tale? At first, I honestly thought it was real and went down a rabbit hole doing research. What I found, however, wasn't what I expected or hoped for. It turns out the whole story is fake, just one of those viral posts designed to grab attention. But here's a question. Do you think something like this could ever happen in real life? Have you ever heard of cases where people lived amongst animals? If you have, share your stories in the comments. I'd love to hear them. The family had gathered at their home for the weekend with the kids. The father of the family had passed away some time ago, but they believed his spirit was still in the house. While everyone was sitting on the porch, they noticed the lights on the porch started blinking. They immediately thought it might be their dad communicating with them. And when they asked the light to stop blinking, it did at some point, which they took as a sign that it was their grandfather's presence. In another clip they shared, you can see what appears to be tiny orbs floating across the room, followed by what looks like a cabinet door slowly moving on its own. To them, this was even more proof that their father's spirit was still around watching over the family. But when you look at the situation carefully, it could also have an ordinary explanation. For example, the porch light was solar-powered and probably faulty. In fact, it seems that there were plenty of times when they asked the light to stop flickering and it didn't. So is this a case of a father spirit really making contact with his family, or is it just a coincidence and wishful thinking?
And it never flickers like that. Look at that thing. Show the kids that you're here with them. Turn it all the way off. No lights at all.
Do it.
That's what you gotta do in a couple seconds.
Yo, pause that.
Girl, show your grandkids that you're here and turn it off.
I can't miss this. Can you turn it off?
Dad, turn it back on, Dad. This thing is listening to me, dude.
Now, before I say anything, take a good look at this. The uploader insists it's not CGI, but the real thing. He insists this is raw footage from his security cameras. What are we looking at? Well, we're not exactly sure, but it appears to be translucent and intangible. Also, it looks like it's the head of some type of creature. The big question now is, what kind of creature? Well, that's the mystery we are unable to solve. Some of my team Julius think it's a ploy to gain followers and deceive the masses. You've seen it, so what does your gut tell you? We have this image that was shared by a witness in Ohio. As you can see, it appears to show what looks like the kind of creature we're used to seeing only in movies, except this was taken in 2025. According to the person who shared it, the creature wasn't just passing by once. They claim it circled above the area and, at one point, seemed to be heading toward the lakeside. Now, if something that truly looks prehistoric is flying in our skies today, well, that would be no small matter. These kinds of birds, if real, are said to be extremely dangerous, not just because of their size, but because of how territorial they might be. It's no joke to imagine something like this soaring above your head. Skeptics, of course, argue that this could just be a large bird misidentified, a hoax, or even a manipulated photograph. But believers see it as possible evidence that something prehistoric-looking has survived undetected in modern times. Whatever the case, it's certainly unsettling to think that something that big and ancient-looking flying freely in our skies. What do you think? I came across this video online, and it's, well, left me speechless. The man you see is from the Agori sect in India and openly claims that they eat human flesh. That's pretty shocking, right? At first I assumed it was one of those videos until I started doing some research and realized he wasn't lying. The Agori are a small, secretive group of ascetics who live on the fringes of society, often dwelling in cremation grounds. They reject every taboo that most of us live by. Instead, they embrace death, ashes, and decay as a pathway to enlightenment. To them, what we call impure is sacred. That's why you'll see them meditating amongst burning pyres, using human ashes in rituals, and if the claims are true, consuming flesh from human remains as a way of transcending fear and attachment to the body. Crazy, I know, but after doing some more research, I realized there are many more tribes like them out there that we've never heard of. Is there any other bizarre and wild tribe that you can recommend for us to check out? If there is, let us know in the comments section. This picture was taken at a family get-together. Everyone was outside sitting around a fire enjoying the evening, and someone snapped this photograph. But if you look closely at the woman on the right of the picture sitting down, there appears to be something else next to her. It looks almost like a faint apparition of a person standing beside her in a dress, but the figure appears warped and distorted. The family who shared the photograph believes that this was some kind of presence or entity that joined them that night. What are your thoughts? Did you guys know that about 45,000 gallons of radioactive wastewater that is about to be released into New York's Hudson River from the decommissioned Indian Point nuclear plant? Holtec International claims these waters meet federal safety standards, but critics are sounding alarms not just about environmental damage, but about something far darker. Beyond polluting drinking water and sickening wildlife, there are whispers that this isn't just a disposal but an announced experiment. Some believe this is a deliberate move to change the ecosystem, creating mutations or even entirely new strange creatures lurking beneath the water's surface. Could the Hudson be turned into a testing ground for radiation's effects on life itself? The conspiracy theories go deeper. Some claim this release is part of a hidden government agenda to normalize dumping radioactive materials into public waters, clearing the way for larger projects under the radar. Paranormal enthusiasts even suggest radiation zones can act as doorways for strange phenomena, strange lights, electromagnetic distortions, and sightings that defy explanation. Could this be why certain parts of the Hudson have already seen unexplained activity? Whether it's science gone wrong or the opening of something otherworldly, one thing is certain. This is more than just wastewater. The question is, what exactly are we being exposed to, and who truly controls the Hudson's fate? We have a security camera pointed over a property, and the homeowner was randomly going through the footage when he noticed something very odd. In the time-lapse recording, everything looks perfectly normal during the day, but at night, under the tree, something strange happens. A white figure suddenly appears, standing there for a brief moment, and then vanishes within seconds. It's very quick, but if you look closely at the footage, you can clearly see the shape flicker in and out. The homeowner was completely shocked by what he saw. He didn't expect anything like that on his property. After sharing the footage, many people who watched it said the same thing. It's a ghost. Do you think this was really a ghost, or is there another explanation for what the camera captured? We have this video of a woman walking alone at night. It was captured by someone's security camera, which automatically tracked her movements across the screen. The woman was dressed in a short white dress and carrying a handbag, and from the way she moved, it looked as though she might have been drunk or unsteady, slowly walking and trying to steady herself as she went. But then watch what happens as she reaches the other end. She just vanishes just like that. She disappears from the camera's view. It's a shocking moment to see on tape. Now, while some people think it's a simple camera glitch or an edited trick, others are convinced it's paranormal. Whatever the explanation, it's definitely one of the more chilling clips circulating online. Take a look at this and tell me what you think. This clip is from back when Biden was president. A woman is standing behind him, and as he's talking, you really pay attention to her eyes, you'll notice something strange. Her eyes seem to widen unnaturally from time to time. Now, some people are saying it could just be a nervous habit or a tic she does it without realizing, but others are speculating that maybe she's under the influence of something, which is why her eyes are behaving that way. But when there's a whole other group of people online who think this is evidence that she's some sort of reptilian, or at least not fully human, whatever the truth is, the clip keeps fueling theories and questions. Was it just an odd moment caught on camera, or did we witness something far stranger happening right before our eyes? And last but not least, this allegedly exists in Southeast Asia, and you and I are not ready for this conversation. The clip surfaced online some time ago and has recently started resurfacing again. Now, if you've seen a bat before, then you know it does share some similarities with what's on your screen. The only difference is this looks like a bat too, so a man bat? Can we even call it that? We're not exactly sure where this thing came from, what it is, or how it even came to being, but a subscriber of the channel claims he saw it with his own eyes while traveling in Southeast Asia. My video editor and some members of the team, however, believe this is nothing more than CGI or AI. Simply put, not everyone's buying what this clip is selling. You've seen it for yourself, though. So what do you think?
Mấy con này một quay đi zoom mấy anh zoom
It's already unsettling enough being alone in your room at night, but imagine what this woman went through. She was sitting across from a large glass window where her bed was, filming the storm outside. It was dark, the rain was pouring and the thunder was rolling, but instead of just capturing the bad weather, her camera caught something too. As she recorded, a shadowy figure suddenly darted across her room right in front of her. It was so fast that it almost looked like a blur. She says she lives alone, which makes the entire thing even more chilling because, well, there shouldn't have been anyone else in the room with her. With the storm raging outside, she also says there's no way she left the room or let anyone in. The footage has been examined and slowed down by several viewers, and you can still clearly see the shape crossing the room, so whatever it was not just a trick of the light. But the question is, what could it have been? A spirit, a shadow figure, or something else entirely? This girl was being filmed by her sister when something completely unexpected happened. In the video, you can see her near the kitchen just talking and minding her own business. Out of nowhere, one of the drawers from the counter slowly pulls open on its own. At first, she leans in to take a closer look, thinking maybe it was loose or something mechanical was causing it, but before she can even react, the cabinet doors underneath suddenly swing open violently as if something was forcing them. Both sisters scream and bolt out of the room instantly. There's no sign of any wires, strings, or anything that could have been used to stage this, and the movement of the doors looks way too abrupt and real to be just a draft or loose hinges. Was it just a freak mechanical glitch, some kind of prank, or was something paranormal happening? We have a recent piece of footage that people are claiming shows the Loch Ness Monster, but not in Scotland. This was filmed at Lake Prespa in Albania. In the video, we can see what looks like a long neck emerging from the waters before slowly sinking back beneath the surface again. The creature appears far off in the distance, and just like that, many of these supposed sightings, the footage is shaky and blurry, making it hard to tell exactly what it is. People are convinced it's something living in the lake, while others believe it's just a hoax. But with everyone carrying high-resolution cameras in their pockets in 2025 these days, shouldn't we be seeing much clearer footage if these creatures are real? Diving into the world of conspiracy theories, there's a buzz going around suggesting that NASA might be tinkering with digital maps to hide specific spots on Earth. In this video, someone takes us on a virtual tour, zooming in on a particular area until we land on this perplexing site with a weird pattern that looks a bit like a wall. The oddity of this place gets people wondering, sparking all sorts of theories about hidden agendas and deliberately keeping information under wraps. As we mull over the idea of secret operations in the digital space, there are lingering questions. Is NASA really up to something fishy, concealing certain places? And if they are, what kind of secrets could these hidden spots be holding? Or is this just a case of misinterpretation and coincidence? I hope the FBI doesn't come knocking on my door for this. Our next captivating footage transports us back in time, raising the age-old question: are dinosaurs real or just confined to the realms of history and imagination? The video captures a moment that appears to showcase a little T-Rex being fed, adding a layer of fascination and awe to the mystery surrounding these ancient creatures. Throughout history, we've dug up skeletal remains hinting at the existence of dinosaurs in eras long before humans came into the picture. But now, this footage seems to suggest the wild notion of dinosaurs making a comeback from extinction. It's like a spark of curiosity and deep thinking. The thought of running into these colossal creatures in the here and now shakes up our understanding of how nature works. It's like a giant leap beyond what we thought we knew about the natural order of things. Millions of fish are washing up on the shores of Hakodate, Japan, and people are getting worried. Quite recently, there was news about releasing radioactive waste from a nuclear power plant in Japan into the ocean. This has led people speculating and wondering if there is any connection between this and the release of radioactive waste. There are some groups of people who hold a more religious explanation for this fish situation. They believe that this might be a sign of the end of times, as per prophecies in their religions. What do you think? While driving through a deserted land in the middle of nowhere at night, a man came across this, a burning humanoid figure coming from the shadows walking along the path. As if the scene wasn't eerie enough, local stories add another layer to this mystery. People in the area tell tales of a flaming witch. By that, I mean a ghostly figure known to roam the land covered in flames. But those aren't real, right? Or are they? Well, you've seen the footage yourselves. Please share your thoughts and experiences, if any. I'm particularly interested in the experience, or this one. In another bizarre encounter, a person walking in the streets at night stumbled upon a truly unsettling sight. A mysterious woman was standing still, observing passers-by with an eerie intensity. As the person filming approached, a more detailed look revealed something profoundly unsettling about her appearance. The woman's eyes were pitch black, devoid of any discernible humanity, and her face exhibited an otherworldly quality. The camera captured the unnerving moment as her gaze seemed to follow its movement. The overall impression is deeply unsettling, prompting the hope that this might be a Halloween stunt or some form of performance art, that an encounter with something beyond the realm of normalcy. In the skies over Colombia, an observer became witness to a surreal phenomenon, a colossal human shadow cast against the expanse of the heavens. While clouds are known to occasionally take on diverse shapes, the distinctive features of this ethereal figure sparked a sense of intrigue and skepticism. Clouds usually take on all sorts of fun shapes, but the sharp and purposeful lines of this massive figure made people wonder more than usual. The clear outline of a head and shoulders got everyone thinking. Was it a mere play of light and shadow, or did the heavens momentarily unveil a glimpse of something beyond our comprehension? Check this out. A guy's normal drive turns into a surprise after he stops at a red light. A little creature, about 2 feet tall, zooms across the street super fast. At first, you might think it's just a stray animal common in cities, but a closer look at the video and you'll see that the creature appears to be walking on 2 legs, so definitely not your regular 4-legged animal. Now the big question is, what is this 2-legged thing? My mind naturally thought of a tiny monkey, but the uploader says there's none in the area. He suspects it's a paranormal creature, and given the circumstances, well, you can't fault him for thinking that way. But do tell me, what do you see when you look at the creature? And what do you think it was doing out there at that time of night? Now, what do we have here? This strange creature was found floating in the sea by some fisher folks. Despite their experience at sea, they claim that they've never seen anything like this. It had 2 humanoid heads and the rest of its body looked like it was made of tentacles. But then again, it looked nothing like an octopus. Naturally, they uploaded this online and it spread like wildfire since. Some think we might be dealing with a sea monster with 2 heads, whilst some are wondering if it's a sea monster we're yet to document. Julius believes there must be a logical explanation to this, whilst Aaron thinks it's a sign we have been judged by the sea gods. What's your take on this? Our fascination with the unknown takes a peculiar turn with the discovery of an unconventional artifact, a miniature flying saucer adorned with cryptic symbols and detachable parts. It's like stumbling upon a cosmic puzzle, leaving everyone perplexed about its origins and purposes. As people examine this enigmatic object, the air is charged with speculation. Is it an alien gadget, a piece of extraterrestrial technology that defies our earthly comprehension? Or, on the flip side, could it be a creation of human ingenuity, wrapped in mystery to challenge our intellect? Share your thoughts. Imagine this. You're casually grabbing a bottle of water from the fridge and bam, it turns into ice as if you've got some secret superpower. How cool would that be? Stop imagining, it happens in the next clip. Unfortunately, scientists have an explanation for it. So the deal is that the water in the bottle gets supercooled in the fridge, meaning it stays liquid below its usual freezing point. But the trick is not to mess with it, no opening the cap or shaking the bottle. The moment you do that, it's like a magic spell breaks and the water freezes right before your eyes. However, skeptics hold the idea that this is simply a glitch in the matrix. Since everyone is entitled to their opinions, let us know in the comments section what you also think this is. A trail camera in the woods took an unusual picture, showing a blurry shape hovering above the ground. The mysterious nature of this image has led to different interpretations among viewers. Some suggest a simple explanation, saying the blurry figure might be a moth, considering its relatively small size. On the other hand, a more supernatural view has come up, especially because of where the picture was taken, on a property in Missouri on a small rock burial mound. There are many speculations, with some considering the possibility that this ghostly presence could be some kind of entity silently moving through the mysterious landscape captured by the trail camera. A Reddit user went hiking with a partner and came across the bizarre and unexplained. On the hike, they took along with them a Polaroid camera to capture the fleeting moments of their journey. As they were walking through the forest, they encountered a peculiar post that was mounted on a path and labeled Dead End. The sign was put there because that path led to the highway. Curious about the spooky message, the couple took a picture of the post, hoping that it would embody the mysterious feeling of the journey. When the image was developed, however, the couple was shocked at what they saw. There was an actual ghostly apparition standing a little further away from the post. It was all black, yet was not a shadow. It was a dark human entity. The couple, confused by the sudden appearance of this mysterious thing, had questions on their minds. They didn't see this entity earlier when they took the photo, so how was it even possible? Most importantly, who or what could that be? Ghost of a victim who used that path, or maybe some mysterious being with unclear intentions? We all know that trees have life, hence they reproduce, grow, and die. Sometimes it's even hard to believe that they're living because they're so inanimate and look lifeless, but this footage will change your mind. In Maryland, a person passing by stumbled upon a truly bizarre sight: trees seemingly on the move. It's the kind of thing you might expect to see in a Harry Potter movie. The trees, instead of standing still in the forest, decide to take a stroll, making their way from the woods to behind a building. The footage goes on for minutes, adding to the surrealness of the scene. Now, as whimsical as this looks, there are debates about what's going on. Some folks are sticking to the idea that the trees are moving, while others argue that there might be a hidden logger behind the house cutting and relocating the trees, creating the illusion of them moving. Since the person in the video didn't get closer to investigate, it's a bit of a head-scratcher, leaving us to wonder about the tree-walking mystery. If you've made it this far, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment? If you haven't already, it goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode. Oh, we've got a little troublemaker on our hands. Caught in the act, this mischievous companion was frozen in place when its owner found it meddling with the tap. The guilt is practically written all over its adorable face as the water pours all over it. I can almost imagine the internal debate happening in its tiny head. Should I make a run for it or face the consequences? The moment of realization is pure gold, and the gradual head movement after the initial shock adds a touch of humor. It's almost as if the cat thought staying perfectly still could make it invisible. Classic pet antics. What do you think this furry friend was up to with the tap? In this unsettling footage from Haiti, captured by a surveillance camera, a seemingly routine visit to a convenience store takes a bizarre turn. As you can see, a man stands at the cashier ready to complete his purchase, and an unexplained force violently propels him to the floor. The impact is so forceful that he remains on the floor. In Haiti, beliefs in the supernatural and ancestral spirits are important, so the Haitian community, understanding spiritual matters, thinks that this might not just be an accident, but could be a type of spiritual payback or consequence for unknown actions. The footage is deemed legit, so it's hard to write it off as a hoax. While exploring the depths of a mineshaft, an explorer records a fascinating sight, a sizable bird gliding through the confined space. Onlookers faced with uncertainty consider different possibilities. Some propose it might be an owl or a bat. Owls are nocturnal birds of prey that are adapted to low-light conditions, and they might seek shelter in areas like mineshafts during the day. Bats, being nocturnal as well, often roost in dark places during daylight hours. Yet the captivating nature of the video invites speculation. Could it be more than just a typical creature of the dark? What if there's something more ominous happening, hiding in the depths of the mine? If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do that now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these kinds of videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Trail cameras have been very effective in capturing candid moments in the wildlife. However, a Trailcam owner was shocked when she retrieved her device, and instead of animals, she was met with this. In the photo, you've got two women in the buff, crouched down in the middle of the forest, totally absorbed in some mysterious thing on the ground. When you zoom in, you'll notice that there is a dead deer. The scene gets pretty eerie because it looks like these women are up to something unsettling, like they're having a feast on the lifeless deer. The bizarre nature of the scene has sparked speculation and theories. Some folks are throwing around the notion that these might be witches up to some kind of ritual, while others are floating the possibility that these figures could be skinwalkers. You know, those mythical beings from folklore known for transforming into animals and humans. What do you guys make of the situation? Before we move on to the next video, just another reminder. If you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now. I wouldn't want to send that Bigfoot after you. And don't forget to share with your friends and family as well. Thank you very much. The eerie atmosphere of a school after hours takes a chilling turn in this unsettling footage, reminiscent of scenes from the It movie. The diligent custodian enters an empty classroom to tidy up, only to encounter a peculiar and disconcerting sight: a red balloon seemingly out of place among the others scattered across the room. As the custodian goes about his clearing duties, an uncanny occurrence unfolds. The red balloon appears to follow him with an unnerving precision. While the other balloons remain stationary, this solitary red orb exhibits a calculated movement as if possessed by an unseen force. The whole situation feels so strange that it makes you wonder. Is this just a weird accident, some crazy physics thing, or is there something supernatural going on with that balloon?
And the fact that it looks like those creepy red balloons from Pennywise, well, just makes it even more unsettling. This footage was taken in southern India. In the footage, we see a huge beam of light coming from the mountains that lights up its surroundings in a strange orange glow. The light starts on the ground and goes up into the sky. It looks nothing like an explosion or regular light, but it does bring to mind the Florida video from earlier. So what could this be? Some netizens think it could be aliens, perhaps a signal from outer space. Others wonder if it's just a natural thing like a special play of light and air that we don't yet understand. I don't want to think it's an alien signal because that's never good news, but then again, it's possible this is just another phenomenon we know nothing about. Anyway, what's your idea about what's going on in this unusual scene? A curious individual casting a line into the calm pond came across a strange occurrence. Take a look. At first, we're introduced to what looks like a square-shaped organism peacefully floating on the water's surface. Within seconds, the once solid entity undergoes a perplexing transformation. The square-shaped organism disintegrates, breaking down into a cascade of tiny balls that scatter into the water. The sudden and surreal spectacle begs the question, what could this be? Is it a natural phenomenon, a unique organism with a brief and fleeting existence, or does it suggest something more mysterious beneath the pond's surface? While I want to think those are alien ships, Julius, our geek, states that we may actually be looking at a slow-feeding mechanism for the plants. While that does sound logical, you have to agree that it's less exciting. Anyway, what do you guys think? Strange creatures or slow-dissolving food? Share your thoughts. Now, this next one is quite an intriguing tale from the heart of the wilderness. In the year 2020, Scott Carpenter, a dedicated Bigfoot researcher, embarked on a camping expedition into the depths of the woods. Little did he know that his journey would lead to a captivating discovery that would fuel the age-old debate surrounding the elusive Bigfoot. In the video, a colossal dog-furred creature emerges behind the tent, casting a towering silhouette against the wilderness. The creature seemed curious about the strange structure in its territory. It pokes the tent with a tree branch and then moves away to stand behind the tree, still looking at the tent. Carpenter was very excited about this encounter and decided to share it. What do you think of this? During a sunset moment, someone came across a strange spectacle. There seemed to be 3 different lights behind a cloud. Now, scientifically speaking, this phenomenon is known as a sundog or parhelion. It occurs when sunlight is refracted through ice crystals in the atmosphere, creating bright spots on either side of the sun. These spots can sometimes give the illusion of multiple suns, leading to breathtaking and somewhat surreal visuals. Nature has a way of surprising us with its optical illusions, making us pause and marvel at the wonders of the world. Have you ever encountered any other intriguing natural phenomena? Still in Mexico, or rather on the waters of Mexico, sea voyagers bear witness to not 1, but 5 water spots. These twisting tall columns of wind descend from the clouds to the water, resembling thin, spinning tubes or ropes hanging down from the heavens. They're like mini tornadoes over the water, a natural spectacle that's both fascinating and formidable. While these watery whirlwinds can be a captivating display of nature's forces, it's crucial to approach them with caution. Water spouts, unpredictable by nature, can unleash strong winds and pose a risk, especially for those on boats. A motorbike rider was cruising through a deserted area when he came across this unusual sight, a lifeless goat seated like a human leaning against a pole. Now, this certainly isn't your usual sight, so what could be happening here? Some link it to a dark connection, hinting at a possible involvement in a satanic ritual where symbolism and ritualistic acts are thought to possess mysterious powers. Others connect it to the realm of voodoo, a practice deeply rooted in various cultures that involves manipulating energies and forces. But what or who do you think could have arranged this surreal seating of the goat? Is it dark arts, a venture into the occult, or maybe a mischievous prankster with a theatrical touch? Share your thoughts in the comments. You know that feeling of being watched when you're walking all alone in a secluded place? Well, this footage was taken by a woman who was hiking in California when she felt uncomfortable, like someone was watching. As she glances around, a realization hits her. The weird feeling she's got isn't just a figment of her imagination. Right there, perched on a tree with this almost primal stillness, is a creature, one she's convinced is a Bigfoot. Peeking from a distance, the creature subtly reveals only a glimpse of its head and shoulders, but that sighting packs a serious punch. It sets off a bunch of questions and wild guesses. Is it some sort of forest guardian, a mythical being checking out the hiker passing by, or is it just a game of shadows and leaves playing tricks on us? Farms are mostly targets of wild animals because of the abundance of meek prey that cannot defend themselves, especially when the farm is closer to the woods. In this footage, a farmer was filming her animals when she noticed something strange in the woods behind the animals. A big, shadowy creature hanging out in the woods right behind the animals. It's moving quickly, giving off this kind of stalking vibe. And then, just like that, it vanishes into the dark. The farmer, watching all this go down, starts thinking maybe this isn't your everyday predator. The idea that it could be some paranormal creature starts crossing their mind. Encounters like these fuel speculation about the presence of mysterious beings in the vicinity of farms. While it's challenging to draw definitive conclusions from the footage, the eerie and elusive nature of the creature is very convincing. What do you guys think? Next, we have footage from a homeowner whose everyday review of her camera footage led to something rather disturbing. In the footage, you can see the woman walking away from the house, presumably leaving the premises. However, what happens next is anything but ordinary. As soon as she is out of sight, a ghostly figure materializes into view, seemingly from thin air. This spectral entity moves with otherworldly grace, nonchalantly passing by the trash cans before making its way into the house. Why does this ghost visit? Is it a wandering spirit looking for comfort? Could it be someone who lived on the property? Or did it come with something more malevolent in its plans? It's hard to say, but the strange way it comes in, waiting for the homeowner to leave, makes the mystery even more mysterious, if you know what I mean. On the slopes of Wasatch Mountain, this unusual scene was recorded. A creature unknown to anyone was seen running on the steep mountainside. Mind you, at the time it had snowed heavily, so the mountain was steep and impossible for someone to run on it. This led them to believe that could be a Bigfoot out there. So with that in mind, they sent a helicopter to search the mountain slopes for more evidence. As the helicopter circled overhead, there it was, a figure that matched the description of Bigfoot moving on the mountainside. While skeptics may explain the sightings as optical illusions or misinterpretations, enthusiasts and believers in cryptozoology find such evidence compelling. They see it as a step closer to unraveling the mystery surrounding these creatures. Under the shroud of night, as this adventurer embarked on a boat journey through the mysterious swamp, an unexpected and eerie symphony captured their attention. In the stillness of the night, the distant tolling of a church bell reverberated through the air, resonating across the expansive forest. What made this occurrence particularly peculiar was the absence of any visible church in the vicinity. The haunting sound, typically associated with places of worship, seemed to emerge from the depths of the darkness itself. The discordance between the natural surroundings of the swamp and the unnatural tolling added an air of mystery to the nocturnal escapade. As the boat gently glided through the swamp's waterways, the enigmatic chiming persisted, leaving us to wonder, is that from a ghost church? Two guys went into this creepy place and found something totally out of the ordinary. Inside this mysterious structure, they spotted a weird hole in the wall that hid who knows what. Feeling curious, or maybe a bit mischievous, the guys chucked a rock into the darkness, and surprise, surprise, something unexpected happened. A creature jumped up, spreading its wings in a defensive move. The noise it made wasn't your typical bird soundtrack. It was more like a hint that it was not an ordinary creature. The men, now scared, ran off as fast as they could, leaving us to wonder what creature that was. In an unusual scene in Africa, a man comes across a tree that is different from the usual ones. This tree has eggs instead of the typical fruits. The man then picks these unusual eggs from the branches and brings them inside for a closer look. When he cracks open the eggs, a surprising discovery is made. There are seeds inside the shells. Undeterred, the man decides to cook these unconventional eggs by frying them in hot oil. The process unfolds similar to regular eggs, leaving viewers both intrigued and puzzled. This whimsical event brings a mix of amusement and skepticism, as the man seems to have a tree that produces eggs. I mean, he's got a literal eggplant in his house. Either that, or it's sorcery, or a fake. Still in the eerie realm of the supernatural, a backyard security camera becomes an unwitting witness to a bone-chilling spectacle. In the middle of the day, in the bright sunlight, a dark figure quickly moves across the scene. Unlike fading smoke wisps, this appearance is much more mysterious. Yes, another dark entity. Usually we link paranormal sightings to nighttime situations, making people curious about this strange daytime appearance. Yet this looks like an exception. The unclear nature of the entity makes the mystery even bigger. Is it a harmful force, or maybe it's something completely different? Possibly even something good.
And for some reason, the toilet started crying.
A woman was in a public restroom when she noticed a strange sound coming from one of the toilet stalls. She decided to record the noise, capturing an eerie, almost mechanical groaning sound coming from the toilet itself. The noise seemed to echo and was unlike any typical plumbing sounds you'd expect. What could be causing this mysterious sound? Could it be a plumbing issue, or is there something more unusual happening here?
And for some reason, the toilet started crying.
These two things, and I'm spitting into this.
Yeah, so that's a little tube that I get to spit into, I guess.
Now imagine you go to the doctor to get yourself checked, and when you walk in there, the nurses ask you if there was a complication. You explain to them that you're actually there to get treatment to repair the ulnar collateral ligament in the elbow. They tell you that the procedure was just completed and wanted to know if you had any discomfort. You're confused and try to explain it's your first time there. They ask you if you're Brady Fiegel, and you confirm, and they tell you that you've been treated. This puzzles you and them because they think that you're joking. After a little back and forth, you realize there's been another person in the clinic who looks just like you and has the same injury and booked to see the same doctor on the same day as you. Well, you'd be shocked, right? It's definitely has to be a glitch in the Matrix, right? Well, this was the reality of two men named Bradley Fiegel. Both men are 6'4", red-haired, and wear glasses. Naturally, this was too much of a coincidence and DNA tests were taken. The funny thing is, the test results showed they were not related in any way. Despite looking alike, one Brady Fiegel, aged 33, is a left-handed pitcher who made his MLB debut with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 2024 after a long and unconventional journey through the minor leagues and independent baseball teams. He persevered through challenges like injuries and the pandemic to finally achieve his major league dream. The other Brady Fiegel, 27, is a right-handed pitcher currently in the Las Vegas Aviators organization. Interestingly, they even underwent the same elbow surgery by the same doctor years apart. Despite their uncanny resemblance and the DNA test confirming they're not biologically related, they consider themselves brothers in a way due to their shared experiences. Many who heard this story felt it was definitely a glitch in the Matrix. I mean, there's just too many coincidences. You've heard the story yourself. What do you also think?
Our Brady Fiegels find that they're not brothers or even related. So what we seem to have is a very bizarre coincidence of two total strangers who look alike, happen to share the same name and occupation. What are the odds?
We're still brothers in a way, I guess, you know.
And we're always going to be Brady Fiegel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, what do we have here? Someone captured this footage of a creature in the woods resembling a hedgehog, but with its own peculiar twist. This little enigma is black with yellow spikes on its head and a mix of white and black spikes on its back, creating a distinctive appearance. It's jumpy, with fewer spikes than a hedgehog and a tad smaller in size. Just in case you're wondering what this might be, allow me to introduce you to the mysterious woodland dweller, the tenrec. These creatures, native to Madagascar and parts of Africa, belong to the Tenrecidae family and share some similarities with hedgehogs, but with their own unique characteristics. Next, you might want to hold onto your sombreros because we've got a celestial spectacle in the Mexican skies that's sparking quite the debate. In the footage, you can see a strange star-shaped object gracefully descending behind some bushes. It's the kind of sight that looks like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie. As the footage circulates, opinions started pouring in. Some pragmatic folks suggest it might be a balloon or perhaps a drone, while others with an extraterrestrial flair throw the idea of an alien craft into the mix. But here's where it takes a turn toward the mystical. There are whispers of it being an angel. Yeah, you heard it right. An angelic being descended from the heavens. Evidence-wise, well, there's not much to go on there. But what's your take on this mysterious Mexican sky show? A mere balloon or drone, a potential UFO, or perhaps an angelic visitation? Now, we've shared creepy images from cameras given to kids over the years, but it's hard to even tell them apart. Take this one, for instance.
She just took a picture and she says, "Mommy, look, there's a man in the photo." I said, "What?" She said, "There's a man in my photo." And I went like that real quick. Like, this just happened just like 5 minutes ago. Like, no one else is here. It's just us. Like, I'm going to have to change the date and time so I can get more pictures for y'all. But look at that.
A mother gave her child a camera to play with, and it was all rainbows and colors until her daughter told her that she'd captured a man in the photo. Now, you have to understand that they didn't have anyone with them, so this rubbed the mom off the wrong way. She took the camera to check, And sure enough, there was something, or should I say someone, in there. They weren't there with anyone, so not only was this perplexing, it was freaky and scary as well. She posted this online seeking answers and sharing her experience. If you ask me, what she should have done was leave that place, but then again, perhaps I'm just overreacting. What would you have done?
She just took a picture and she says, "Mommy, look, there's a man in the photo." I said, "What?" She said, "There's a man in my photo." And I went like that real quick. This just happened just like 5 minutes ago.
It's been a while, but it's time for our bonus segment. For all those new to it, this is the part of the video where I show you a scene, object, or creature, and you try to identify it. The best answer gets a shout out in the next episode. With that out of the way, let's take a look at today's mystery clip.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. That is hilarious.
It's got like a...
Can you identify the creature in this clip? If you can, kindly let us know its name in the comments section, and do well to add a unique fact. We will highlight the best answer with the highest likes to send a shout out to. All the best.
Oh my god. Wow. Wow. That is hilarious.
It's got like a...
Next, we visit Florida, where individuals were greeted with an unexpected yet vibrant display in their skies. Take a look.
Look.
Yes, you're seeing right. There appears to be a bright orange light behind the clouds in the sky, and that naturally had the whole place lit orange. Here's the twist. The mysterious glowing ball in the sky isn't just hanging there. It starts moving, making everyone wonder what's going on. As it comes out from behind the clouds, it turns out to be a bright orange orb, and nobody can easily explain it. Some in the paranormal community think it's the government responsible for using their blue beam technology, but that's hard to prove on our side, even though we have our theories. What do you think about the whole thing, though? In this recent video, someone captured a peculiar light bouncing around in the night sky. Some suggest it could be an ether ship plasma energy, evoking thoughts of extraterrestrial phenomena, a mysterious craft navigating the celestial canvas. Skeptics opted for more grounded explanations. Some stated that it might be an unconventional aircraft, atmospheric anomalies, or the interplay of light reflecting off earthly objects. What's your perspective on this cosmic light display? Is it the dance of an ether ship, a celestial energy phenomenon, or is there a more earthly explanation for this captivating show in the night sky? And just like that, we're back at staring at the skies. Do you see what our interest is? Beyond the light show, pay attention to the clouds and you might just see it. Seeing it now? It looks like there's some sort of spaceship in the sky. After a few seconds of flashing, it shows up vividly. It really does look like some sort of saucer, and it's got us thinking, is this the real deal? Can we really say we've seen a spaceship now? Also, if it's indeed a spaceship, what is it doing to the weather and why that location? Care to share your thoughts? Meet Omar Odavi. In this footage, we see him sitting calmly by the seashore, surrounded by sharks and stingrays. It's quite a risky scenario at first glance, and if it's your first time seeing any clip of his, you're probably wondering what's going on. Well, if you didn't already know, he's what many like to call the animal magnet. Scientists aren't exactly sure, but there's something about him that draws different kinds of animals to him. Some have suggested that it could be something in his blood that draws animals near, specifically an unusually high mercury content. This composition seems to have an undeniable effect, especially around marine life, who reportedly swim toward him when he's near the ocean. Others are choosing to call it a superpower, but, well, that sounds like a bit of a stretch. Rather than giving him control over animals, it appears more like an unintentional invitation, as though signaling nearby creatures to gather, possibly for a meal. Still, it's a strange and intriguing phenomenon. Is this a power you would love to have? Let us know in the comments section. Take a look at this footage. A man claims to have seen this strange-looking creature in his pond. Seeing it is one thing, but this man actually runs to catch it with a net. The strange-looking thing has a semblance of a turtle. It also looks like a human child in a turtle costume, if you ask me. It brings to mind the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but how could such things be? Honestly, I think this is a hoax. I mean, the possibilities of it being a hoax are endless. It could be a person in a costume or CGI. What do you think? The deep sea remains one of the most mysterious and least explored environments on Earth. In this footage, a strange creature was observed resembling the shape of a sperm, but with a distinctive purple color. Interestingly, the creature doesn't have visible eyes, adding to its mysterious appearance. The absence of discernible eyes raises questions about the creature's sensory adaptations and how it navigates the darkness of the deep-sea environment. If any one of you aqua enthusiasts knows what this might be, please do share it with the rest of us in the comments section. A home security camera caught something bizarre while everyone was out. In the footage, the room seems calm, nothing unusual, until suddenly a bright, lush flash fills the screen. Then, as if on cue, the TV flicks on. For a moment, everything is brightly lit before the flash fades, the TV powers off, and the room returns to normal. When you examine the footage closely, the flash has an eerie shape, a faint outline resembling a woman. Could this be an entity manifesting through the home's electrical devices, or perhaps a residual energy trying to make itself known? Let's see your thoughts in the comments section. Over the many episodes we've had on this channel, we've featured many levitating and glitching objects such as brooms, cars, and even birds. For the first time, however, we've got a levitating person. Now, we're not told where this was taken, but the individual insists it's real and refuses to share any more information, fearing the government might pick him up. I'm not sure if his concerns are legit or not, but many in the paranormal groups we belong to are intrigued by the footage and believe it's authentic. Some also think we may be dealing with doctored footage. Julius, our in-house scientist, on the other hand, believes the individual intentionally uploaded a clip that didn't paint the full picture. He thinks there's a parachute or harness the individual might be floating from. You've seen the clip yourself. What do you think we are dealing with? A wildlife cam captured this huge crocodile. They say it's about 50 feet long or more. If it's true, this reptile is massive. Crocodiles are reptiles that can grow to impressive sizes. The largest species, the saltwater crocodile, Crocodylus porosus, holds the record for being the largest living reptile and can reach lengths of about 17 to 23 feet on average. Exceptional individuals have reported to reach lengths of around 25 feet, while a crocodile of around 50 feet would be at the extreme upper limit for known species. It's not entirely impossible, especially considering that crocodiles can vary in size and there may be larger individuals in certain populations. At least that's what we theorize, but do share your thoughts. On the shores of an unidentified location, a mysterious and strange creature lies washed up on the shore. This creature is hard to categorize with its pale skin, round head, and a mix of features that seem both human-like and aquatic. It has hands that look like a human's with 4 claw-like fingers, while its lower half transforms into a fish-like shape. The creature is pretty as well. The puzzling nature of this creature leaves observers wondering where it came from and how it got to the shore. What combination of species could result in such a distinctive yet mysterious being? Please feel free to share your thoughts.
I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. What the
The 2024 US election results have definitely triggered some wild reactions, especially among those on the left. People are expressing frustration in ways that seem at times over the top. They're screaming in the streets, dramatic gestures like shaving their heads, and even making vows to swear off men altogether. It does feel extreme, almost like a collective wave of emotion release or protest. It's fascinating how elections bring out intense emotions and sometimes push people toward dramatic statements or actions. These responses, while passionate, might seem exaggerated to some, almost like a ritual or movement in its own right. Emotions run high during times of change, and sometimes reactions can seem surreal. But in a way, it's all part of the very human process, the need to feel seen, heard, and understood. But what do you make of this?
The next 4 years, I am going to abstain from schmex with men.
If you hate centipedes, it's time to click away. If you're still here, then enjoy. Someone has this giant centipede crawling on his arm. It's a 15-inch Amazonian centipede. For those unfamiliar, the Amazonian giant centipede, or Scolopendra gigantea, is not your average bug. It's a formidable predator known for its size and aggressive hunting style. Growing up to 12 to 15 inches long, this centipede is the largest in the world, with a body covered in tough segmented armor and legs that seem to ripple with every movement. Its appearance is both mesmerizing and terrifying. A mix of dark, glossy shades of red and brown with antennae that twitch as it senses its surroundings. Each of its many legs is tipped with a tiny, sharp claw, and its 2 front legs have been modified into powerful pincers, capable of delivering a venomous bite. This venom is potent and strong enough to take down small mammals, birds, and even bats in the wild. Yet here it is, crawling across a human arm as if it were nothing more than a curious house pet. Humans. I'm not sure I would ever understand how strange we really are. UAPs, UFOs, and aliens have become topics that have made their way into mainstream media in recent times. Although there hasn't been any evidence to prove their existence and authenticity, there is a class of people who believe they're real. Now take a look at this footage, for instance. There is what looks like a cloaked craft in the sky, and you can even see the silhouette of someone walking inside. Sometimes light can play tricks on your eyes, so some believe that this is just Fate Morgana, a trick of the light. However, there are some who are convinced that we're looking at a genuine cloaked UAP in the sky. What do you think? Watch this footage closely and tell me where the man in the pink shirt came from. Take a look at the footage again.
A man in a pink shirt seemingly materializes out of thin air in front of a woman in a costume. He appears to be filming her, and what's more perplexing, neither the woman nor the people around seem to notice his sudden appearance. Is this a glitch in the Matrix, a momentary rift in the fabric of reality where someone crosses over from the unseen? Share your thoughts. We all know there has been a funny year for everything alien and paranormal, but especially for UFOs and UAPs, with the USA's subtle hint that they might actually exist. The clip playing out on your screen was shared a few weeks ago and quickly went viral. At first, many individuals didn't know what to make of it, but with time and additional footage and evidence, many have come to suspect that we're actually dealing with something extraterrestrial. This was further confirmed when it was allegedly confirmed during a U.S. congressional hearing that there may be UAPs in our oceans. The fishermen who captured this mystery were pressured and scared into silence. After connecting all the dots, I think it should be obvious why they were, don't you think?
Yo no sé si logras ver lo que yo veo. Mira el reflejo. No hay reflejo. Es la silla. Es mi trípode. No hay reflejo. Literal.
What do you think this is? If you're tempted to think it's CGI or some sort of filter or effect, the individual who uploaded this insists that it's not. Instead, she states that it appeared in a room out of nowhere and she didn't know what to do with it. She doesn't tell us if it disappeared on its own or if it's still there, but she does ask us for answers. Some members of the team think it might be portal-related, whereas others think it might be a sign that there's an angel in the room. Personally, I don't think I have an interpretation for it, but do you?
Yo no sé si logras ver lo que yo veo. Mira el reflejo. No hay reflejo. Es la silla. Es mi trípode. No hay reflejo. Literal.
This is the track we're talking about here.
Locals in a quiet rural area stumble upon a giant footprint in the mud, and it's no ordinary print. This footprint, etched in the earth, reveals the distinct features of a Bigfoot track, massive in size with toes clearly imprinted in the mud.
Yeah, we was noticing the toenail marks on here, as you can see in the camera here. Yeah, right in that area right there.
Could this be evidence of the elusive Bigfoot roaming the rural landscape, leaving its mark in the mud? Some do think so, but what do you think? Would you look at that? On a talk show, the world's tallest man, Kozin, and the smallest woman, Amj, were the guests.
How are you?
Sultan Kozin from Turkey is the Guinness World Record holder for being the tallest living man. He owes his towering height to acromegaly, a condition caused by the excessive production of growth hormones. And then there is Jyoti Amj from India, who holds the record for the smallest woman. Her petite stature is due to a type of primordial dwarfism, a condition marked by significantly smaller size. Just look at the height difference. This is incredible. They make the most of their conditions. Hopefully, this steers the disability conversation toward a positive light.
This is the video. It's called a Comburgus video, which is a close-up of a craft, so close that you can see the occupants. It is 100% real, and I was there as that was filmed.
Back in 2008, a famous piece of footage known as the Gumbagus footage was captured, showing a close-up of a UFO. When analysts examined the footage more closely, zooming in, revealing what appeared to be figures inside the craft. These figures had large heads, thin necks, and distinctive features resembling the gray alien archetype, with smooth, expressionless faces. This footage has since been widely discussed and studied for its uncanny details. Could this be one of the most compelling UFO sightings on record?
The whole footage has been analyzed from our scientific board for 2.5 weeks. Frame by frame, pixel by pixel, and this is 100% genuine footage.
Now this next one is one I have no words for. Let's take a look at it together. It was supposed to be a football game like any other until lightning decided to pay a visit. Just in case you didn't realize it, the reason those players fell is because lightning struck the field. Not everybody went down. Those who were warming up and running by the pitch didn't go down. Those walking slowly did, and as expected, the officials and spectators panicked. This is something no one who went there that day was expecting. Now the big question is, why did lightning strike during the game, and how come not everyone was affected? Do you have answers, or should we consider this the wrath of God? Kindly share your thoughts in the comments section. Starting a day like any other, a man became fascinated by an unusual sight in the sky. Initially thinking the flying objects were just regular birds, maybe geese flying together, a closer look revealed a more puzzling story. Zooming in for a better view, the observer was met with a truly extraordinary scene. These creatures, far from the usual birds, had huge wings that looked like those of a bat, but on a massive scale. The sheer size and otherworldly appearance sparked imagination and curiosity, making people wonder about fantastical possibilities. Could these mysterious entities be dinosaurs or perhaps even dragons? These days, don't be shy to lean toward the supernatural or fiction because things are just so bizarre. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? Thank you very much. In a peculiar encounter captured on footage, a curious individual stumbles upon a shelled creature resembling a crab.
Yo, what the fuck is this thing? Crab? Coral?
As the observer approaches the creature, it emits a peculiar sound, creating an unusual auditory experience. Simultaneously, the camera captures vibrations and becomes blurred. Some who have seen the footage believe that the creature wields electromagnetic powers. Looking at the footage, I'm tempted to think the same.
Crab? Coral?
What do you guys think though? Is this one of those cases, or am I seeing stuff that isn't there?
Here we go. Nothing. There we go again. Nothing.
A man living alone heard a knocking sound at his front door. He went to check, but no one was there. Just as he turned away, the knocking started again, this time from inside, coming from his bedroom door. When he opened it, he found no one there, but he heard loud breathing from under the bed. He held his phone underneath to check, and for a brief second, caught a glimpse of two glowing eyes staring back. Freaked out, he left the room and went to another, only to find two chairs stacked oddly, one on top of the other. As the day went on, the knocking continued, leading him toward the staircase, but once again, nothing and no one was there. Seems like this house might truly be haunted. Would you dare to investigate further?
And there's nothing. Oh, what the hell is that? Yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. It's getting ridiculous now.
be both fascinating and disconcerting, and in this particular instance, a man stumbles upon a mysterious creature in a river.
What in the world you all? Well, we gonna get you out this water. Somebody let me know, what is this? This half turtle.
The creature has a body like a turtle and a face that mixes fish-like features with small black eyes, making it a distinct and possibly hybrid specimen. The combination of these characteristics leads to questions of its origin. Is it a hybrid of both worlds? A whimsical creation intended to merge the characteristics of both land and water animals? Or something entirely different? Without further details about the location, scientific examination, or expert analysis, it's challenging to ascertain the true nature of this enigmatic creature. Nature is known for its diversity, occasionally presenting us with surprises that challenge our understanding of the living world. What if, instead of nature, man created this thing? Now, these things you see were captured in the sky. They are two round patches of white cloud-looking things in the sky. These strange things keep blinking rays toward the Earth. They look like some sort of portals. However, an interesting observation is made. The footage seems to have been taken through a glass window. This leads some to theorize that what appears to be otherworldly portals could be reflections rather than genuine celestial phenomena. What do you think?
It's always important to fact-check before believing everything we see on the internet, especially when it comes to conspiracy theories. KFC recently released a new commercial and it has caused quite a stir online, particularly among conspiracy groups. In the ad, the man is dunked into a river, and when he emerges, he has turned into a piece of fried chicken. While this could simply be an attempt at dark humor or to create marketing, some people are taking it very seriously. Some believe the imagery resembles a satanic ritual, while others claim it's a subliminal message hinting at something darker, like KFC using meat for their chicken. This has led to resurfaced claims that KFC allegedly uses HEK293 in their food. For those unfamiliar, HEK293 is a human embryonic kidney cell line that's sometimes used in scientific research and in the development of artificial flavors. However, when investigated, there's no evidence that KFC uses HEK293 in their products. In reality, HEK293 is mainly used in pharmaceutical research to produce therapeutic proteins and is not an ingredient in food. Still, this commercial has many questioning its true intent. Was it just a bizarre marketing choice, or was there a hidden message? If there's a hidden message, what is it saying? The internet is packed with bizarre, mind-bending stories, but this one, well, this one takes the cake. A group of friends was driving home late at night, goofing around when suddenly panic took over. Why? Because out of nowhere from the pitch-black roadside, a completely naked man appeared and started chasing their car. And I mean buck naked, nothing but skin and determination. The guys in the car freaked out, screaming as they floored it, but no matter how fast they went, this mystery man kept up, which, let's be real, shouldn't even be possible for a regular human. But here's, sure, where things get truly unsettling. His eyes were glowing. Sure, maybe it was just light reflected off of them, but that doesn't explain his inhuman speed or why he was standing naked in the middle of the road in the first place. Some people think it was just a group of guys goofing off, maybe a crazy dare gone too far. Others say the man could have been on drugs or alcohol, which might explain the reckless behavior. But then there are ones who believe this was something much darker, like a skinwalker, a possessed man, or even something not human at all. Since there is no solid explanation, all we can do is speculate.
What?
This image was taken inside an abandoned hospital in 2013. The hospital had been shut down way back in the 1990s, leaving it empty and derelict for years. A guy went there shooting footage and snapped some still images. At the time, he didn't notice anything unusual until he reviewed the photographs later. The image on your screen was supposed to have been taken in an empty hallway, but as you can see, there's a hazy figure in there. It's humanoid in shape, but something feels off. The figure is entirely whitish, almost as if it's draped in cloth. Parts of the cloth seem to be fraying or peeling away. That particular being or object in the image is blurry, making it difficult to make out the exact details, but what do you think it is? Do you think this is a ghost lingering in the abandoned corridors, or perhaps the spirit of a former patient? Let me hear your thoughts. Next, let's dive into one of the creepiest Hollywood conspiracy theories out there: celebrity cloning. Hollywood might be a hub for glamour, but it's also rumored to be one of the darkest industries in the world, with a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes. Over the years, there's been a growing buzz about celebrities with similarities so striking they almost seem unnatural. Take this example: Lady Gaga and Amy Winehouse. These two singers were good friends before Amy tragically passed away, but fans have pointed out something bizarre, an almost eerie resemblance between the two. Some conspiracy theorists even suggest Amy didn't die but somehow came back as Gaga. But the problem is, both women were very much in the public eye at the time before Amy's passing, making this theory hard to believe. Still, considering how strange Hollywood can be, who knows? And it's not just them. There are countless cases of celebrities who look really eerie, down to their facial structures and mannerisms. Could this be a wild coincidence, or is there something more sinister at play here? This is another trail camera capture, this time taken in Georgia. The image shows an upright-looking figure staring directly at the camera. The most unsettling part is that while it has dark fur, its posture is too straight to resemble that of an ape. Typically, primates have a slightly hunched or slouched form, but this creature stands more like a human. Many who have examined the image strongly believe that this could be a Bigfoot. The clarity of the capture and the eerie humanoid stance only add to the mystery. Well, clarity is a bit of an exaggeration, but you get me right. Some have considered this as proof of the big guy's existence, but is it really? Some in the community don't think so. To them, this is most likely a man in a costume. As usual, this has led to an all-out keyboard war between both sides. You've seen the capture, what do you think's going on here? We all know that in our solar system, there is only one sun, and while different planets have multiple moons, Earth is known to have just one. But what exactly is going on in this footage? During a breathtaking sunset, two suns appeared on the horizon, on one side and another across on the other end. It was an incredible sight, but with how bright and defined they both appeared, this couldn't be moons. Before we jump to wild theories, let's consider a few natural explanations. One possible phenomenon could be caused by the illusion that's known as a light bow. This occurs when light from the moon or sun refracts through atmospheric conditions, creating a duplicate image in the sky. Another possibility is a mirage or reflection, where certain weather conditions can cause celestial bodies to appear doubled. In this case, the sun. I know we aren't exactly a science channel, but Julius will want to hear your scientific thoughts on this one. The key word is scientific, so, please humor him, okay? This one's for all you beauty enthusiasts out there. Did you know that cow dung is now being touted as the next big thing in hair care? Yeah, you heard that right, cow dung. It's apparently being used as a treatment to nourish hair, and while the idea might sound and look disgusting, it's gaining popularity in some circles. People are slathering their hair with it, claiming it works wonders for their locks. It reminds me of a hair treatment I once saw called henna, but the post I saw insists it's not henna but cow dung. Honestly, it's pretty hard to watch, but it might not be long before we see a shiny bottle of cow dung hair mask sitting on store shelves next to our favorite shampoos and conditioners. If we've learned anything from the past, not too long, but say it makes it to our shelves, would you give it a try? Personally, I'd just sit under a cow. It's a lot cheaper. A young woman was hosting a live session on TikTok while doing her makeup and engaging with her audience. However, an unusual event occurred just behind her. As she was busy interacting with her viewers, the door to her room suddenly creaked open and another girl walked in unannounced. The viewers who were attentively watching the stream immediately noticed the unexpected visitor and began to flood the chat with messages drawing her attention to the disturbance. So she decided to step away from the camera briefly to investigate what was happening. As she left the frame, the live stream footage unexpectedly froze. When she returned, she'd found nothing amiss and she reassured her viewers that everything was fine. However, she was shaken by the incident. Some in the chat speculated that the strange occurrences might be linked to paranormal activity, as there are claims that such encounters often disrupt technology. But no one knows for sure what really happened that day. A hiker had climbed up a mountain when he came across this metal door embedded into the rock. At first, it looked like just a random structure, but as he got closer, he noticed that there was no visible handle to open it. The only feature on the door was a hole, but there was nothing else to indicate how to open it. Curious, he held his camera up to the hole, hoping to see what was inside, but all he captured was pure darkness, an eerie, impenetrable void. Now, what could be behind that door, and why was it there hidden in the middle of a mountain? Is it an entrance to something secret, a government facility, or maybe something much stranger? These two girls were out one night in Tampa, Florida, just wandering around, goofing off, and enjoying the cool night air. At some point, they decided to take a break and sit down, while someone else, who had a camera in hand, snapped a photograph of them. Everything seemed normal until they got home and took a closer look at the picture. That's when they noticed something chilling. There wasn't just the two of them in the photo. Looking carefully at the side of the image, deep in the darkness, there is a distinct shape that looks like a human figure in a robe, slightly brighter than the shadows around it. The way it blends in is unnerving, almost like it was always there watching. But here's the creepiest part. At the time, neither of the girls saw or sensed anything strange, but they did say that they'd been sitting near a cemetery. And suddenly, it all made a little too much sense. The only thing that could make sense is that they might have encountered a ghost. As intriguing as that is, not everyone is sold on the translucent being, especially members of my team. A chunk believe these girls are faking it for their 5 minutes of fame. I know the translucent image isn't very convincing, but what if this is how ghosts actually look on camera? A man took a picture of his kitchen one night, but when he took a second look, he was completely freaked out. This is the picture he saw. At the doorway stood a very tall and slender figure with what looked like a pale face, long black hair, and a beard. It scared him so much that he set up cameras all over the house. The next time he reviewed the footage, he captured this chilling video. In the darkness, there was a figure moving back and forth in the room. Let's enhance the video to get a better look, and there it is. It looks exactly like the figure in the picture. So the lingering question becomes, what exactly are we looking at? A ghost or an otherworldly being? Because you and I have to agree that this does not seem human at all. Yeah? The fires and other strange occurrences happening in Los Angeles right now might not be mere coincidences or accidents. It turns out there's a plan to turn LA into a smart city. While that sounds like a good thing, sometimes to build up something better, and I use better here carefully, there's the need to destroy what already exists. The way the fires unfolded and completely devastated large areas is very questionable. Could it all be part of an orchestrated effort to clear out parts of the city and force people to relocate? This is the site of the Information Technology Agency, ITA, which is spearheading an initiative called Smart LA 2028. Their ambitious plan involves transforming Los Angeles into a fully integrated smart city. Among other things, they aim to implement cashless systems and various high-tech advancements. You can visit their website to see the full scope of their vision. It's bold, to say the least. Large-scale destruction clearing areas for redevelopment and modernization isn't really new, just that it's never been done this way. In fact, there's no evidence to suggest that these plans are the reason for the fire. But what if they are? Sounds chilling, doesn't it? Is this just speculation, or could there be more to it? The dots are there, so you draw your own conclusions. SpaceX and other aerospace companies are well known for launching rockets and satellites into the sky on a frequent basis. Because of this, many UFO sightings have been later explained as these launch devices rather than extraterrestrial activity. Recently, people from various parts of the world, including Denmark, Essex, and other locations, have reported seeing a peculiar spiral-shaped object in the sky. Many took to the internet to share images and videos of this mysterious formation. The paranormal community was quick to claim that this was evidence of alien activity. However, experts and skeptics have pointed out a more grounded explanation. According to reports, these spirals are actually created by the fuel exhaust from SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket boosters after launch. As the rockets ascend and their boosters are jettisoned, the leftover fuel and vapor can form a spiraling effect in the sky, especially in high-altitude conditions where the gases expand and reflect sunlight. While the sight certainly looks otherworldly, it appears to have a scientific explanation, but as always, not everyone is convinced. Maybe I'm one of them, but maybe I'm not. Do you think that it's just a natural result of modern space travel or something more mysterious? Now we have another eerie set of images that was shared by someone who had gone out for an evening walk when they noticed something strange. In front of them, there was complete darkness, but within that darkness on the ground, there appeared to be a humanoid figure crawling toward them. Let's zoom in on the image and take a closer look. There, it looks like an emaciated human-like creature with pale skin. That can't be a normal person. It closely resembles a skinwalker or some kind of paranormal entity. Whatever it was, the person who took the image did not stick around to find out. Unless, of course, the person created this digitally and we're being scammed. Some members of my team don't think that's the case, though. But there's one person. Well, you know what? Let's move on. A woman was driving down a quiet path near a field when something unusual caught her eye. In the middle of the field stood a pale figure dressed in what appeared to be white robes. At first, it seemed like a statue because it was standing perfectly still with its head tilted awkwardly to the side, but then the head moved slightly and it became clear this wasn't a statue at all. As the woman continued filming while driving by, the figure began to move. Slowly and deliberately, it crouched down into the tall grass, almost as if it had noticed her and was trying to hide. Whatever this was, it didn't seem entirely human. The pale appearance, the strange movements, and the eerie setting all make this sighting deeply unsettling. Some suggest it might be a scarecrow, but a scarecrow wouldn't be capable of complex movement. Others suggest it might even be a rake or a wendigo, but it's hard to lean toward any. At least it is for me, but what do you guys think this is? A homeowner was left stunned when she reviewed the footage from her security camera. It was late at night when a deer strolled across the front yard, but what caught her attention wasn't the deer, it was what followed. Right behind the deer came a small creature running quickly. It moved on 2 legs, and although the footage is dark, you can make out its shape. Some people think it could be a monkey, while others believe it might be something more unusual like a gnome. What do you see? Next up, we have a video shared by a couple who had never experienced anything paranormal before until this night. One thing caught on camera completely freaked them out. The footage comes from their living room security camera. It was late at night, and they were home alone when it happened. Suddenly, a flash of light appeared behind a closed door. Then, out of nowhere, a pale face peeked out from behind the wall. But just as quickly as it appeared, it pulled back, and right at that moment, the shadow of a figure briefly flickered in the same spot. A few seconds later, the face disappeared again, only to vanish completely. Even their dog, who was sitting in the living room, perked up and stared at the door right when it happened, like he sensed something too. The couple was so shaken up that they had no idea what to think. Was it a ghost, a glitch in the camera, or something else entirely? The Grand Canyon is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world, attracting millions of visitors every year. However, not all areas of the canyon are open to the public. In fact, there are restricted zones where tourists are not allowed to enter, and this has led to a lot of speculation. In some of these off-limit areas, explorers and researchers have reportedly found caves and doorways leading into the rock formations. But where do these mysterious passageways lead? Many believe that the government or other agencies may be hiding something in these restricted parts of the canyon. Could they be secret underground facilities, lost civilizations, or hidden archaeological sites that they don't want the public to know about? There have been old reports of strange artifacts being discovered in the Grand Canyon, and some even claim Egyptian relics and ancient tunnels exist beneath its surface. Of course, skeptics dismiss these claims, saying these areas are simply closed off for safety reasons or for environmental protection. But with so many questions left unanswered, you have to wonder, what are they really hiding in the Grand Canyon?
This is cool. Not so sure it's safe.
On January the 11th, 2025, multiple witnesses in Indiana, Wales reportedly seeing an unusual beam of light in the night sky. This striking beam appeared to connect the ground directly to the sky. Interestingly, the origin of the beam remains unclear. It's uncertain whether the light source was descending from the sky or emanating upwards from the earth. As you can see, it keeps changing color. Some locals speculate that the source could be a hotel in the vicinity, although this theory is yet to be substantiated. I mean, I know most hotels have lots of lights, but I'm not sure a hotel could have lights so powerful they hit the sky and look like a beam. I mean, it will be suspicious if they did that, but if this isn't from the hotel, then where is it from and why was it there?
That's a heck of a laser.
See it right there? What is it? A bone. Bone. I don't see it. Oh, it is. Oh! What was that? Hello?
Yep, get the out of there! Here we have another chilling clip, this time from explorers who ventured into an abandoned paper mill deep in the woods of Pennsylvania. It seems people just can't resist poking around places marked abandoned, can they? These two men wandered into the mill, eventually finding their way into a cave-like structure that opened into a space littered with old machinery, stacks of wooden debris. While exploring, one of them noticed a bone lying on the ground. Was it human? Animal? Well, they couldn't tell, but continued their exploration anyway. As they continued looking around, they started calling out, just messing around, when something truly unsettling happened. They heard a low, faint sound. At first, they thought it might be an animal or even just the wind, but then it happened again, and this time it sounded like a voice saying, "Help." The men freaked out and ran out of there, leaving the eerie mystery behind. They uploaded it online seeking opinions, but everyone just told them to go back with the cops. What would you have done in their shoes?
Hello?
Yep, get the out of there!
Holy! Yep, no more of that.
Do you drink tap water straight from the faucet? You might want to think twice after watching this. A man in Colombia had 3 betta fish, each kept in separate bowls. One day he changed their water using tap water, as he usually did, but when he went to check on them 2 days later, what he saw shocked them. Tiny, see-through creatures had multiplied in one of the bowls. Not only that, but the betta fish in that bowl had completely disappeared, along with a small snail he'd also kept inside. The only thing left behind was its white shell, which according to him used to be black. These tiny creatures, where did they come from? They resembled shrimp or some kind of aquatic insect, and he firmly believed they'd eaten his fish. After sharing the footage, experts identified these creatures as scuds, tiny crustaceans that sometimes appear in untreated or contaminated water sources. But this tap water is what is being connected to people's homes for cooking and drinking? Oh, you better check your water, guys. What do we have here? It's an eerie-looking creature, and as the camera moves closer, we get a better look at its face. It honestly looks like an alien with ashy skin, its mouth slightly open and eyes shut. There's no clear information on where or when this footage was taken. Some people think it could be a part of a set of an old prop. Others say it might have been filmed in a museum, but honestly, we're not sure. With the endless stream of alien footage out there, it's becoming harder and harder to separate fact from fiction. So what do you think? Real or staged? A man was driving home late at night when he came across something unsettling. This strange figure standing on the side of the road. At first, it appeared to be just a man wearing a black t-shirt and pants. But as the driver got closer and began filming, he noticed something was off. The figure's face looked grotesquely distorted, almost as if it couldn't be real. Initially, he thought it might be someone wearing an odd mask. However, the closer he got, the clearer it became that this was no mask. The figure stood eerily still, hands clasped behind its back, with its unnerving face fixed on the driver. Its head slowly turned, following the vehicle as it passed by, creating an almost unbearable sense of dread. Julius, of course, described as gullible for believing this, but, well, I can't say I have believed it yet either. The figure was compared to black-eyed children, which are essentially otherworldly creatures that take the form of little children. Someone even asked if we had heard of no-mouth children, but, well, that couldn't be a thing, right? Ever since the devastating LA fires, people have reported spotting strange things in the sky. One such sighting occurred in Santa Monica, and it has left everyone baffled. On a sunny afternoon, a witness shared this video. It was a peculiar figure in the sky. It appeared to have tentacle-like appendages flapping in the air, moving in a way that seemed almost alive. Yes, tentacles again, just like what I showed you earlier. Some speculated it could be a drone with a tentacle-like attachment, but the burning question remains, what would such an odd device be doing near the coast, close to where the fires happened? Also, is this a human creation, or could it be something far more mysterious? This next footage comes from a parking lot in China. In the video, a scooter is parked amongst several cars when, out of nowhere, it begins to jerk violently before flipping over completely. People nearby notice this strange occurrence and stop to watch, clearly shocked by what they were seeing. When you watch closely, there doesn't appear to be any strings or external forces pulling the scooter. Interestingly, an electrical wire hangs above the parking lot, and some viewers pointed out that it seemed to be moving just before the scooter did. Could this movement be connected to the strange events, or is this an unexplainable, possibly paranormal incident? What do you think?
The concept of a matrix glitch often emerges when people encounter inexplicable or seemingly contradictory situations that challenge our understanding of reality. Take a look at this footage, for instance. A man is swinging in a chair, his arm seemingly hooked into the chair's arm. However, as soon as he stands up, his hand is magically out of the chair's hook. This is what people consider a glitch in the Matrix. Although skeptics may think that it could be a trick of perspective, many in the paranormal community think we're looking at a modern glitch. Having seen it, what do you think it is?
Do we have anyone living in Houston, Texas here who's seen a Black Panther? And no, I'm not referring to Wakanda Forever. There's been news going around about an actual Black Panther roaming the city. The zoomed-in image on your screen was captured on the 24th of September 2025. Now, before you go off to ask Google, I've already asked for you, and the answer is no, Black Panthers are not found in Houston, Texas, or anywhere else in the United States. The term Black Panther is often used colloquially to describe melanistic or black variants of leopards or jaguars, but these animals are not native to North America. The last time something like this happened, it turned out to be a large black house cat. That was, however, as far back as December 2023. If this current image is to be believed, well, I'm tempted to say that it really does look like a Black Panther, but how? Can anyone in Houston shed light on the situation? I'm kind of tempted to say this really does look like a Black Panther, but how? Can anyone in Houston, can you hit me up and tell me what you think's going on here? That'd be good. But with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. And with that, we end today's episode. Thank you for staying with us. Before you go with our clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't, well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. This has been Steve, and you have been watching Classified Captures. Now do us a favor, share this with someone you love, or a lot of people you love, and I'll see you in the next one.